Man, what's up, man? What's going on, everybody? I know y'all been keeping up with this whole Joy Taylor, Skip Bayless, FS1, I guess you want to call it a scandal that's been going on over there. And I did want to hit on it, but like I was saying earlier, I was out on the road. I couldn't really do a show or a live like I wanted to. I tried to go live on my phone, but it just wasn't hitting the same. So I finally got to the house. I made it. And then I want to go ahead and just read y'all some of the backstory behind it, read some of the lawsuit, and then give y'all my take on it as well. Now this one is from a lady. Her name was Miss Faraji. It starts off as something between her, FS1, and then her dealings with Joy Taylor. Then I also get into the Skip Bayless part of it as well. She says, in approximately March 2016, Miss Faraji met Miss Taylor, an aspiring sports personality that had recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles for the opportunity of airtime at Fox. At the time, Miss Taylor did not have a regular position, but would fill in on a day to day basis when talent was sick or otherwise missed time. Miss Taylor told Miss Faraji that she was recently wed, but her husband remained in Miami and that she was lonely in Los Angeles. Miss Taylor then befriended Miss Faraji. In approximately May 2016, Miss Taylor asked Miss Faraji to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When Miss Faraji arrived, she found Miss Taylor with an older man, Fox Sports Executive Vice President of Content, Mr. Dixon. As an executive vice president, Mr. Dixon is responsible for overseeing all content and production on FS1. Miss Faraji, however, did not know Mr. Dixon. When Mr. Dixon went to buy them another round of spicy margaritas, Miss Faraji asked who he was. Miss Taylor responded that he was just a friend. Following that night, whenever Miss Faraji would meet with Miss Taylor for drinks or food, Mr. Dixon would either arrive with Miss Taylor or show up later in the night and leave with Miss Taylor. He would always buy rounds or drinks and or food. From their body language, Miss Faraji suspected that the pair were sleeping with each other. And although this concerned Miss Faraji, as she knew Miss Taylor was recently married, Miss Faraji kept her opinions to herself. Now, what kind of struck me as odd in that first paragraph was the part about how he would show up, and then they would leave late at night, which obviously they was doing something. And in my opinion, I really think that Joy may have been a part of this whole setup to try to get Miss Faraji to maybe come back to the room with them for a threesome or whatever, because he's buying both of them drinks. He would show up, right before it's time to go, buy another round of drinks. I think he had other intentions as well. She was like, well, we just probably thinking, oh, we just gonna have some fun, you know. Maybe Miss Faraji can come in with us and do her thing as well. See, I'm married, you married. I don't know what she got going on, but hey, we just want to see if she down. That's what I was getting from it. Then it goes on to say in approximately June 2016, while at work, Miss Faraji noticed Mr. Dixon in the elevator. Surprised by the coincidence, Miss Faraji found Miss Taylor and told her excitedly, the guy who always buys our drinks was in the elevator. Miss Taylor quickly silenced Miss Faraji, explaining who he was. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that such a relationship was unsafe. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it. Miss Faraji continued to be friends with Miss Taylor, but tried to distance herself as she considered the situation dangerous as well as morally wrong, as Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were both married. In approximately July 2016, word spread amongst Fox employees about a new show that was going to be a big deal, as it would star Mr. Bayless and Shannon Sharp. It was known that Fox was looking for a woman with significant TV experience to also star. Therefore, it came as a surprise when Fox announced that Miss Taylor, who was a bartender and radio host in Miami with very little TV experience, would be the moderator of the new show, a sports debate program, Skip and Shannon Undisputed. Now, it surprised me as well, because when they typically get a moderator for some of these shows, it's usually a woman, but it's usually like a woman who you've seen on other programs who probably didn't get as much airtime, and it's like the next step up for them. But I didn't even know who Joy Taylor was. I didn't know where she came from or anything. But when they put her on there, they went on to explain that she was the brother of a former athlete. I, uh, I can't think his name, but he played for the Dolphins. He was a defensive end, and they explained to us the whole situation. And if you was watching the show, you could see the tension grow between her and Skip. Sometimes even between her and Shannon. You could tell Skip didn't like her because he doesn't like anybody who's not, I guess, a sports person. Just like he used to give everybody a hard time on First Take if they wasn't a sports person, like Kerry Champion. He didn't really particularly like these people. You know what I'm saying? And he definitely used to give her a hard time. It was even times like he used to go on to insinuate that maybe her and Shannon had something going on. Oh, I seen y'all in the hall. We went to go have drinks and y'all showed up together. Just all kind of little stuff he used to do. Then it goes on to say Mr. Bayless later disclosed to Miss Faraji that he did not want Miss Taylor on the show, but Mr. Dixon was adamant that Miss Taylor should star. At first, Mr. Dixon arranged a dinner between Mr. Bayless and Miss Taylor, where she arrived in provocative clothing and acted in a provocative manner. When that did not change Mr. Bayless's opinion of Miss Taylor, Mr. Dixon asked him to approve of her as a favor to him. Reluctantly, Mr. Bayless agreed to do so as a favor to his friend. Now, if y'all go back and watch my actual live show where me and Damien was talking about this, you know, he basically gave up the power to Joy. So after him having sex with her, knowing that he's married, knowing that she's married, and a lot of men in these jobs, we get caught up in this. He conceded his power to her. So now he gotta actually go and try to convince the host of the show, like, man, you should really have her on. Man, she'll be a great host with nothing to back her up when it's probably other eligible candidates out there. So when I was reading this, and then me and Damien was talking, I'm just thinking it was just a bad situation all around. But in the end, Joy was winning the whole time. She was up. She can win in the end. She won in the beginning, and she gonna continue to win because, like I say, I think she's gonna keep her job at FS1. I don't think anything's gonna change. Now they may eventually have to give her her own show because they're gonna have to separate her from Acho, that I believe. But overall, Joy came out on top. Now, in this last paragraph, it says around August 2016, Miss Faraji attended a dinner with Miss Taylor and her husband and Mr. Dixon and his wife. During the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband became suspicious that Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were having a sexual relationship. Soon after the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship and divorced Miss Taylor. In approximately September 2016, Undisputed started. Miss Taylor requested Miss Faraji to do her hair. In approximately November 2016, after not allowing anyone to touch his hair. And that was the end of it. But yeah, like I say, I was reading this and I'm thinking all of these things about Joy. Joy, joy, joy. But it was really confirming everything that I had thought about it, just coming in and seeing what was going on. I'm thinking, all I see is titties. All I see is a pretty face and titties. But she does know her sports. I give her that. But overall, I did feel like she did have a little tension between her and Shannon, the way she used to look at her. I think that they probably did have something going on in the background. You could always sense it. If you just watch the show, you could always sense it was more than just a show. He used to kind of have jokes. You could even tell he had a little smirk on his face. Maybe he said something to Joy, but they didn't want to give it away too much. They would hint at them hanging out. But most coworkers hang out, especially on jobs like that. I'm pretty sure a lot of those people hang out. You know, this is just my opinion, just what me and Damien was kind of talking about. But yeah, overall, I feel like she did have a lot of sway over them. I think she did have extra thing probably going on with Shannon because he doesn't particularly like black women. He's a fan of everything but black women, particularly white women. You know, so as long as Joy, she's I think she's mixed, but if she's not just too black, I'm pretty sure Shannon would get at that. And Joy is not somebody that you would just pass on. But if you heard Damien, he was like it wasn't his cup of tea, and that's fine. But I think most guys thought that Joy was like a nice looking female, that they would holler at. But it was another piece of that about Skip. Now, in this article, it talks about the same lady, except this is pertaining to Skip. Now I'm gonna read this one. This is not too long, so it won't take me long. It says after starting work on the Undisputed Morning Show starring Bayless, the suit alleges that he began giving Faraji lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breast. The single mother alleges she repeatedly told Bayless she was not interested in him and did not date at work. She also claims she told Bayless she was suffering from ovarian cancer after developing issues with her left ovary in an effort to halt his advances. Now, I don't know how to take that. I don't know if she was making it up or they just saying that it was really going on and she was just telling him that to halt his advances. But from what I'm getting from that is that maybe she was making it up to halt his advances. And Skip is an older white guy, kind of looking like he's almost shriveling up. You know what I mean? Like his skin is starting to look different than what it used to when he was on cold pizza. But this whole thing about Skip and what he was doing to this lady is very creepy. Because if you know Skip on these shows, he looks creepy, especially when he's having his back and forth with his other host. Sometimes he gets overexcited, sometimes he gets angry. And any of these emotions, he almost looks as if he's a killer. And I'm just being honest with you, like a white psychopath. And for her to be saying he's advancing on her and hugging her extra long and these lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek, it's very creepy. And a lot of women, they don't want you like giving them any type of particular hugs. Most women, when they don't like you, the type of hug they'll give you is a little side hug, or they'll just give you a nice little quick little hug and they just kind of get away from you. And they definitely don't want you kissing them on the cheek. You know, you start kissing women on the cheek, and if they don't like that type of stuff, I think you're crossing into a dangerous territory once you start doing that. You might want to just keep it to a handshake, a fist bump, and just move on. Because most women, if they're interested in you, they'll give you some type of hint as to if they like you or not, whether you can do these extra hugs and kisses. But if they don't like you, they're gonna let you know. And it says instead, Bayless became more aggressive over the years. According to the suit, he allegedly offered Faraji 1.5 million to have sex with him and claimed he could change her life. The suit also claims Bayless accused Faraji of sleeping with Shannon Sharp, his co-star on Undisputed. Now, I bet you he was getting jealous because he made a lot of comments every time these hosts or these guests came on. There was women about Shannon and these women. Oh, they was doing this. Oh, they was doing that. Oh, I saw y'all. Doing this. Oh, he'll be like, oh, it's a little tension there. He would just have all kind of little comments and jokes. He seems as if he's that jealous type of guy who would really hate on you. If he knew you was talking to a female, he would be the type to, as we say, throw salt in the game. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what he would do. And for him to offer her 1.5 million for sex, now he messing the game up with that. You offering her 1.5 million for sex? Why would you do that? You just raising the bar so high for all kinds of people. You don't, that's like super simp stuff if I've ever heard it. It don't get no simpish than that. And besides, you that desperate, you got to pay 1.5 million. I want to know what this lady look like. Man, as they say, you might want to get that little funky $40 and go hit the corner. Nah, I know they gonna say $40. What kind of chick you gonna get for $40? It's not necessarily the chick for $40. It's just a saying, the little funky $40. But anyway, you can go down to the corner somewhere and get you some if you really need it. And plus, you're a celebrity. I'm pretty sure you can find somebody either cheaper than that or for free who just want to smash you because you skip Bayless. I bet it's plenty of chicks that just want to do that. You ain't got to spend 1.5 million for that. Ask Shannon. As far as Shannon concerned, the way he was talking was he be knocking down chicks. Listen to him on this show. Listen to other podcasts. Listen to him on previous shows. Shannon talk like he get it in. So you don't got to do that. I think you have more status as a person who's on TV where you don't even have to spend any money. Most rich people don't have to spend money on anything if they don't really want to. You can eat places for free, go out for free, hang out for free, smash chicks for free, for for nothing. You don't have to even come out your pockets. You don't even have to bring your wallet with you. If people know you, they just want to give you stuff if you're a celebrity. So for him to sit up here and offer this lady 1.5 million is it's really insane. It's really goes to show you is like, damn. Then it goes on to say, as the suit alleges, approximately 1 week later, Mr. Bayless made another advance at Miss Faraji. Miss Faraji responded, Skip, stop, you have a wife. Mr. Bayless responded, aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives? Miss Faraji responded that her father was dead. And when Mr. Bayless looked taken aback, she made an excuse to leave. Now that was just that statement definitely sounds like Skip. Some of the things that he would say to Shannon or the host, it was out of line. Especially when Jenny Taft was on that show, he made a couple of comments towards her about her and Shannon. He used to make those type of comments between her and Shannon all the time to insinuate as if they was having a lot going on outside of that show. He was insinuating like that was his girlfriend and all kind of stuff, man. And she was married. And you could tell that she really didn't like any of this stuff that he was saying, but he was saying it. And that's why I feel like that's a comment he would make. And he's a very, very jealous person. Even people like Jason Whitlock, he had made some comments because, he used to work on the show. And he spoke on this as well.
I don't want you to misconstrue it because the woman I'm about to reference here is someone I really like and respect. I'm not accusing her of anything. I'm just telling you what happened, and you can go check the tape. What you don't know is what happened behind the scenes. But some of you will remember this. Skip Bayless insinuated, flat out, somewhat stated that Jenny Taft was having some sort of inappropriate relationship with Shannon Sharpe. He said something about seeing her come out of Shannon's dressing room or something like that, and she got upset on air. But off air, as soon as that show was over, she ran upstairs and lit in to the executives. One executive in particular. About this, Skip Bayless basically just accused me of sleeping. And Jenny Taft is married, and so she was irate. And this happened on air. And that was my first clue. Like, oh, this dude is jealous of Shannon Sharpe, and he's seeing ghosts everywhere. And Shannon's putting those ghosts out there. Shannon walked around that place like he was banging every makeup and wardrobe girl in the place. His little wing, the undisputed downstairs wing, dressing room area, whatever, Shannon was known for running around there in the tightest little boxer shorts that he could find and nothing else. Again, me and Cowherd were on the second floor. I'm telling you what I heard. I'm just telling you what I heard. I'll just leave it at that. But he has baited Skip Bayless, for lack of a better explanation, into a pimp competition. Who can have the most girls in hair and makeup like them, want to be with them? And again, Skip's mindset is competition, and I'm competing with Shannon Sharpe. And Shannon Sharpe has now baited him into the sexual Olympics. And now Skip Bayless is like, oh, he's sleeping with Jenny Taft. Oh, he must be sleeping with Nusheen. And Skip and Nusheen were very close. From afar, to me, it looked like they were best friends. They were, I'd see them in hair and makeup quite often, always conversating. Again, I don't know what they were talking about, but reading this lawsuit, and what she's saying is at some point, Skip clearly got jealous and thought she was sleeping with Shannon Sharpe and kept accusing her of that. And so could I see Skip, and as close as he and Nusheen were, could I see Skip getting into a conversation that at the time he thought was playful, where he's then, again, because he's entered this sexual competition, he's throwing it out on the table, he's talking to Nusheen, the way he's overheard Shannon Sharpe talk to all of these women. These are just facts. Shannon Sharpe kept a flirtatious conversation going on with all of them. Things would fall out of his mouth to these women, and they'd laugh and they'd engage in a conversation with him that you couldn't pay me $1 million to say this stuff at work.
And that's facts, because like we were saying earlier on the show when Damian was on, Shannon, he left CBS. I think he was kicked off of CBS. I think the speculation was around maybe some type of sexual misconduct, or not to say like he was harassing someone, but maybe he probably had an inappropriate relationship with somebody on the staff, or was being too flirtatious with another female. Who knows?
Skip fell into it. Someone like me, like, I'm running away from it. I'm not in that competition. That competition is for idiots. That competition is for people that want to get me too. That competition is for people that want to end up in a lawsuit.
That's why I never got that. Like when I was reading this, I'm thinking, bro, this is perfect for you to get into that whole Me Too, sexual harassment, lose your job type situation. But since both of them are not on FS1 anymore, it's not gonna hit the same. But yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, and this was during the time when all of this stuff was really going on. The Me Too movement, like, I think a lot of guys in their workplaces were turned off from even speaking to females at work. So, but hey, these guys had a lot of money, so it probably didn't affect them, and they didn't care.
And that's where Skip is. Because at some point he probably said something in jest, or like, "Oh, what you need? What do I got to pay to get in them panties?" Something along those lines. And Nusheen probably said, Shannon Sharpe said he would put me on scholarship for $1 million. And by scholarship, it's like, let me play a clip for you. And this is going to take much longer.
And that's all that clip was right there. That's all it was. But Jason, you know, he's a funny guy. Yeah, I like Jason. He also he made another little comment which was funny to me about Joy. I was like, this is a wild man. This is a wild, wild dude.
I know what I'm capable of. And that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly, it's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Like, Jay, keep your distance. I know what I'm capable.
Ain't that funny? Dude, crazy, man. He crazy. When I heard that one, I said, that's pretty funny. But Jason, you know, he's wild. Yeah, I mean, he's just being honest, though. Said he wouldn't be able to resist himself. Like, I think it's a lot of people that feel like that. The way she looked at you, and she always had her titties out. Like, what are you supposed to do? Well, I know what you're supposed to do, but when you're a man, you know what it is. And also, I wanted to share out another clip where she was talking about relationships. So this should give you a little insight on who she really is.
These hypotheticals have got us in a chokehold, and we must free ourselves. It's fun to argue about. It's fun to talk about what you would do in this scenario, or would you leave the game if the seats were high, or if a man took you this place on a first date, what you would do. And I'm telling you, like, Every interaction that I have with people now, in some way or another, these things come up. Can we just keep it a buck? If they're fine enough, if they're funny enough, or if their financial status is what you want, fine, funny, fucking money.
Nah, what she wanted to say, fine and funny, and you got money, she fucking. And dudes know this. We know this. Really, you don't even need all that other stuff. If you got money, you fucking. When it comes to some of these chicks, they don't care how you look. They can say, oh, I want a guy who is like this, and I want him to be sweet and this and that. If he got that bread, he getting that head. Period. Y'all don't all your morals and everything go out the window. Look into the background of some of these chicks. Just see who some of these chicks done dated and done been with. They ain't gonna tell you everybody. But some of these folks that they done went to bed with and went home with, they thought he had something. I'm telling you, a lot of these dudes, they thought they had something. If he got that bread, he getting that head. Period.
Throwing all boundaries, standards.
That's it.
All that shit you talked on Instagram about how you would never, and this woman ain't because women this and men this. You're moving forward with this person.
No, you know my favorite hypothetical, because it's so ridiculous, is when you ask anybody if they would do something outrageous for like $1 million and they say no. It's like, okay, would you do it for 2 million? I mean, would you do it for what's the number? Like anytime you add money into a hypothetical, people love feeling good about themselves by saying that they wouldn't do it for the money, but it's literally only because it's a hypothetical. If you saw this $1 million in front of your face and I said, do this, are you doing it? So I don't even know if hypotheticals are real indicators of the situation that's being discussed.
Man, I think them women right there just telling on themselves. If you ask me, they just telling on themselves. Like I say, this is stuff that we already knew. It's like we didn't know this stuff. We knew this about these women. Like I said, when Joy first came on the network, the way she was always dressed, she comes off as that kind of chick. She definitely comes off as a chick that would be down to fuck. Let's go have some drinks. Maybe we can turn this into something else. If I have a certain social status, oh, I know I can hit this. She comes off of me as that type of chick, period. If you're an executive, if you the boss or something like that, she gonna give you some. If you got something to offer her, she gonna give you some. Period. I mean, you can just tell. Also, check this clip out too. Says a lot about Joy.
But I don't think that all men cheat. I have been with men who haven't cheated. I know men who do not cheat. I have friends that are in relationships that do not cheat. There is no thing you can do to keep yourself from getting cheated on. You can marry someone and they're the only person that you've ever been with, and you were a virgin when you met them, and you were loyal, still get cheated on. You can date multiple people. You could be outside. You could still get cheated on. Can you find someone that you feel has, really strong morals in that space and was raised in a family that yes, and you could still get cheated on. The last part of this, though, that I will also add is that when you're talking about people who are in the entertainment industry, when you're talking about people who have access to a variety of different spaces, you can't apply that to everyone's lifestyle. And generally, if you have more access and temptation, it makes it more difficult to stay on the rails. Now, I'm not saying that your man isn't cheating because he doesn't have the opportunity.
What she's saying too, speaking for herself, is that if there's more temptation for me, I'm liable to cheat on you. Even if you're a good guy, I'm liable to cheat on you. That's why she kind of pointed out, yeah, there's guys out there that don't cheat. But the ones who do cheat, they have to cheat with somebody. And this is the type of female that they would cheat with. It's Joy. Joy would definitely give them some. A lot of the insight that people give you, you got to realize that it's coming from people who actually either participated in these things or they know what they're capable of themselves. That's why some people have such a great insight on certain things. It's from a certain level of experience that they have and they notice already. So, like I say, man, all of this stuff with Joy, it really didn't surprise me at all. I wasn't shocked, even the littlest or smallest amount, because he just seemed as that type to me. But like me and Damien said, I don't think it's going to hurt her career. I don't think it's going to sabotage she has anything going on. She's still a good sports reporter. She's good on TV. She looks good on TV. She did what she had to do. And in the end, she came out on top. But that's pretty much all I had, man. Leave y'all comments at the bottom of this video. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.